I want to tell you that yes, my husband is a rich man. That is my private life, and that is also by accident. Sometimes the people that you marry to and the people you love, it's just coincidentally is somebody that well-to-do.
Today, I'm chatting with Yang Berhormat Yeo Bee Yin, Member of Parliament and Malaysia's youngest female minister in the multi-departments of energy, science, technology, environment, and climate change. A chemical engineer by profession, she studied in Cambridge and is today a household name in our country, respected by many for her committed passion in nation building. Bee Yin, thank you for joining me today. I am your host, Polin. Welcome to TAW Real Chat, where life's insights are shared. There's a lot of chatter in the coffee shops, right? That, this Yeo Bee Yin, now she's married a rich man, and, how can she relate to the rest of us and the sort of change?
Yeah.
What would you say to this sort of chatter? Like you said, you can have a good life, What would you say to these people?
Yeah, so I because sometimes my husband will say, that because marrying to him will make me being criticized by people. Then I would comfort him and say, because they cannot find fault in other places, they just find fault of who I'm married to. What is that to do with your public life? And that the reason why that I continue to be in politics is because I want to be in politics to make change to the people who are just like me, who grew up in a small town, who probably does not have a family that can afford them good school, private school, or even tuition, who would have to rely on the system to move upward. So I think I want to build this country whereby everyone will have the same opportunity, just like my children. Good education, good public education. I really want this country to be a country where it is fair and just. I remember very well when I was 15 or 14 years old, my mom had a heart attack. She really was pain in the chest and was sent to public hospital. But after 3 days, public hospital, the government, the doctor said you can go back. And my mom continued to suffer the pain because we could not afford to go to private hospital, until my father just decided, okay, let's just go to the private hospital. And I remember the moment she entered into the private hospital, which is an hour away, an hour and a half away from our place, that she collapsed and that it was just in time to save her. And that after that, my late uncle, who just passed away, actually gave us some financial help so that my mom gets to do, because she actually had a blocked blood vessel, the artery,
right.
Do angioplasty, and then eventually she got well. So I always remember this. You know why? Because the people who have will not be able to experience this. They will never know how does it feel to not have money to pay for a good doctor. When I start working, the one thing that I wanted to do, because I was very, very blessed. So after I finished my university, I was hired by an American company. I was paid in US dollars. So the one thing when I started to earn quite a bit of money, one thing I do was to really make sure that I save enough for my parents' healthcare. Because I know in Malaysia, it is unfair. If you have money, you get to have a better care than you have. What keeps me into is this kind of experience, growing up, having a lot of opportunities from the system.
Right.
That because of education, I get to change my life. Growing up, knowing that, the have and the have-nots may not have the same access to better healthcare. And that growing up, seeing my parents struggle and people around us struggle for day to day, Even today, you see a lot of people are struggling with their life. I do not know how to tell you that I can identify with you, because I cannot tell you that my life is uncomfortable now, right? It will be very insincere for me to tell you that, I go for, I still out in politics because I want to make sure my children have good life, because I think my husband can take care of them, right? The only thing that why I'm still in is because I want people who are not like my children will have the same access, or some sort of an equal access that will be able to in their life, to fulfill their potential in their life. So how do I want to convince the naysayers? I really cannot. I cannot be telling you that, I find it very hypocritical if I tell you that I am not staying in a big house. You got what I mean? I cannot tell you that, that my life and the ordinary people life is exactly the same. Although my husband really likes to go to the hawker store and eat, and we just live a very normal life, but definitely coming from a not so well-to-do or a middle-income family to a well-to-do family, I see a big difference between the difference between
the way of life.
The way of life. We live very, very comfortably, and I don't need to worry about a lot of things. So to me, to say that, I live the same life with you, I cannot. But can I identify with you? But can I empathize with you? I think I still can. You know what I mean? I think I still can empathize with people, because I have been in their shoes for the longest time. I don't struggle. So I don't pretend that I struggle for that money. But I know and empathize that your money is running out because of milk, diapers, and everything? Yes, because I have seen many. I have seen how my siblings go through. I have seen how my people near. I can empathize. So I hope it's not too long a questions to answer to this.
No, I think it's very interesting. And let's go back to that Pasir Gudang story, right? You were 36 weeks pregnant. Your husband didn't want you to go, right? And he ended up driving you because he was afraid that you go into labor. You mentioned your husband quite a bit today. How do you get him to support what you're doing?
My husband comes from a very conventional family. He probably did not think enough when he married me. And then it was too late to regret. So that's why he struggled to understand why I do what I do. But one thing I'm glad is that although he struggled to understand his support, I think me being in politics also bring a lot of troubles to him as well.
For sure.
And vice versa. So yeah, he cannot change me one lah. So he just have to tolerate. Just like I think marriage is like that lah. You cannot change each other. You just have to tolerate
one another.
One another, yeah.
And you mentioned also your friends, right? You've got friends who did not betray you even to today. You've got friends in politics like Hannah Yeoh, Teo Ni Ching, and Lee Ki Hyong. How important are these friendships to you and their support in your political struggle for righteousness in this industry? It's
very important. At least you don't feel alone. At least you know that there are people in the struggle is the same as you. And a lot of people say in politics you don't have real friends. That's wrong. So you still can have real friends, real relationships that will last beyond politics. That means if one day one of us decided that we will not be in front line, that we'll continue to support each other. So it is good that in the DAP there are a lot of well-meaning, well-intentioned politicians that I can have establish good friendship with. Those things are very important. So in the fight, you need partners, right? So you need partners who can help you. And in fact, for me to decide to continue, I think Hannah, Ni Ching, they all play a very big part in supporting me and encouraging me to continue to stay in this space and not to not to take an easy way out. So they should take responsibility that I am still staying here, and that help me whenever I face struggle. Yeah.
How do you support one another in a very practical way? Can you give us some
I
insight
don't
as to
know.
how?
We just talk to each other every day. Have a WhatsApp group that gossip all around.
WhatsApp group that gossips.
And gossips, and then we'll struggle to understand other politicians. Then we'll say, why these things people like that? We should be like this and that. And I think our things are mostly on just on a good relationship lah. People outside of politics may not know what we struggle with. So we talk to each other because we understand each other, and we know the actors, right? The other people, we also know them, right? So we know every one of them that is in the circle, and then their ins and outs. And so I think a good relationship is just natural lah. Just natural. We will just talk to each other. Maybe ladies just like to talk. There is a natural tendency of people. 100 people praise you. If there is 1 or 2% criticize you, you actually take the critics much more than the 100 people who
praise you. Everyone, give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you at our next Real Chat episode. Bye for now.